Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. This beer is 360 IPA and it's done by Sly Fox Brewing Company. They're out of Pottstown and Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. And this was sent to me by Chris. Flat black can, got the Sly Fox emblem here at the top. 360 India Pale Ale written underneath of it. This is a 6.2%er with 70 IBUs written right here on the back of the can, real easy to read. And right here it's got, all I can see is November 15th, guys. The rest of the writing is unreadable. So I guess they're wanting you to have this by November the 15th. We're in July. That's when I'm doing the review. I'm a little bit ahead, so you probably won't see it till August sometime. But July, August, September, October, November, at least a 4-month shelf life. Now I think that's pushing it as far as I'm concerned. In my humble opinion, you should have no longer than a 3-month shelf life for an IPA, guys. Once you start getting in the 4th, 5th, and 6th month, the hops really fall off, and you get into the malt bomb aspect. So a lot of these brewers like to push it, give it a longer shelf life, but I am not a fan of that. I mean, I'd like to have it within the first week or two if I could get my hands on it that fresh. But pushing it to 4, 5, and 6 months, not a big fan of, guys. But we're in, I'm doing this on the 28th of July, and they're still giving it August, September, October, November, almost 4 more months, and I don't know how long it's been in the can. So the good aspect, it's got the great big open top on this, so when we pop it up, the whole top of the can comes off, and you have if you want to drink it out of the can, which I don't recommend, look like a barbarian drinking it out of a can or a bottle. Pour it into the glass, let the beer breathe, let the carbonation come out. It won't fill you up as fast. You won't get bloated as fast. You need to release that carbonation instead of chugging it all down and burping like a, I ain't gonna say it. But anyway, we'll get on with this. Thanks to Chris for sending it to me. The IPAs shouldn't have that long of a shelf life, guys. So that's where I'm going to leave it. If they want to produce these beers and put them in the can in May and June or even July and give it a November enjoy by date. Now it doesn't say enjoy by. I can't read what it's got on there. It just has November 15th. So I'm hoping that's not canned on date of November 15th of last year. This will be a malt bomb, but Chris can't control that. He can just go to the store and pick up the freshest beer he can get his hands on. But anyway, I do appreciate it, Chris, whether it's an A beer or a C beer. I do appreciate it. We can only do what we can do, guys. We can go to the store and hope to buy the freshest beer we can. If it's got a date on it, you got a little bit of knowledge there. Whether it's a canned on date or a Best By date, they're making an attempt. So. Commercial description on this one, guys. It says, brewed with combination of Bravo, Cascade, Centennial, and Lemon Drop hops. This effervescent brew in a can that drinks like a glass shows off the full flavor and aroma of this dry hopped IPA. And when it say drinks like a glass, because the whole top comes off. It's not like your typical pop top where you got a little teeny hole there you're trying to get the beer out of, and it creates a vacuum a lot of times, unless you punch another hole in the other side or anything. This whole top comes off, so it's basically a glass in a can. but still, you're not pouring it out to create that carbonation release. So that's why I always pour it into a glass, guys, to release some of that carbonation. Plus, I want to get a nose on it and smell the beer. I mean, it's just me. This is a big can too. It's a 16 ouncer. Over to the food pairings, it's going to be your typical IPA food pairings. They say the cuisine is curried in your tie. Just suggestions, guys. Cheeses are peppery, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue, cheddar. Your more pungent cheeses, Gorgonzola, Limburger. And the meat for this is poultry, fish, shellfish, and salmon. And I will add grilled meat to that. I like just about everything off the grill with a nice IPA. Glass rod, pint, becker, Nonic, tumbler, mug, stein, Sidell. I'm going to use the Sovereign beer glass today, guys. And not recommended for extended cellaring. So let's get the top off of this one. Nice hiss, nice pop. And like I said, the whole top comes off. So that opens up the whole area in the can in case you don't have a glass. And you have to drink it out of the can. Probably makes it a little tougher to pour without spilling it. Or producing a monster head. Which this is what this one's going to do. I'm going to pour it very gently here, guys. I'm not going to be able to get it all in there anyway, because I want to leave a little bit of head space there to get my big old nose down in the glass. Yeah, that's all we're going to pour in there for right now. And even doing that, we got almost about 2.5 fingers of head on that pour. Over into the light, a nice rich amber color, almost to the copper color. I can see the bulb right through it. A lot of bubbles streaming up, so it is fairly well carbonated. Let's get a nose on it, guys. It's got a nice citrusy, fruity smell. I am getting some hops in there. Just a little bit of pine, a little bit of grapefruit, maybe some tangerines. It's not the hop bomb that I was hoping it would be, but like I said, I don't know how long it's been in a can. These guys may give it a 6-month shelf life. And if they do, I mean, those hops are going to fade. I mean, anybody that drinks IPAs knows that. I'm not getting a lot of lemon, but there is a little bit of maybe lemon peel in there from that lemon drop hops. Well, let's get it to the lips and see what we got. Great big soapy bubbles on the outside. And it's fading pretty quick. We're down to about 2 fingers of head. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Chris. Not a monster hop profile. There is a nice hop bitterness to it. But it is definitely not a zombie dust or a Pliny the Elder or a heady topper. This is not that West Coast style. A very nice, easy drinking. The alcohol is very well hidden for a 6.2%er. Doesn't seem to be overly bitter on the back end for 70 IBUs. Pretty good marriage of the sweet malt and the hops there. But it's not a hop bomb, guys. Had a lot better IPAs. This may be a transitional IPA, if you will, to me. Now, somebody that's had as many beers as I've had, especially over the last 5 years doing the beer reviews. More of a definitely East Coast style, guys. And a little more subdued than the West Coast style. And as far as the hops, they were saying that they use Bravo, Cascade, Centennial, and Lemon Drop hops on this. So they're using 4 different hops, but none of them are like the Simcoe and Citra and Amarillo, some of those more pungent hops. So a little more subdued IPA, if you will. So let me take it back and let her get a sip or 2 or 3 out of it and pour the rest of this in there and sip on it for a while. We'll come back and do the final choke and grate on this one, guys. Alright, guys, I'm back. Got a little left here and maybe a little more than a little bit. Let me hit it again. I've been sipping on this about 45 minutes now. Now that it's warmed up to room temperature, it seems like the bitterness is a little strong for the sweetness of the beer. Wasn't as bad when it was right out of the fridge, but now that it's warmed up to room temperature, it does have a heavier hop bitterness with the 70 IBUs on the back end, and the maltiness. And like I said earlier, it's more of an East Coast style than a West Coast style. It's not got that up in your face hop profile that a lot of the West Coast style beers have. So was expecting something a little more than this, but it is what it is. So let's do the final chug on the 360 IPA. Just a little bit of citrusiness in there, just a hint of some pine, and more, instead of grapefruit or pineapple, it's more of a tangerine, orange, and some lemon peel in there. Not overly impressed, guys. I'm really not. I do think it's an above average beer. It's better than a C beer, but it's definitely not an A beer in my opinion. My rating on this one, guys, is going to be a 6. I'm going to give it a B, and basically it would probably get a B minus if it didn't have that date on the bottom of it. Was expecting a little bit more from this than what I actually got. And as far as the dating on the bottom, I would like to be able to see whether it's canned on this date or enjoyed by this date rather than just the date. So I don't know whether it's canned on date or enjoyed by date or what kind of dating is. I'm just assuming that it's an enjoyed by date being November 15th. If it's a canned on date November 15th, it's last year's beer. So can't read that, guys. I mean, it's just unlegible to me. I like it, and they got the November 15th in big letters, and everything else is in small, unreadable black letters, a lot smaller than what the November 15th is. So, but I'll let some in there. Don't want it to go to waste, unless it's my waste. Yeah. That's what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it to 6, guys. It's a B beer. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, it would probably be an 84 or an 85. Over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says, imagine this. And Beer Advocate says 84, which is in good range. It is a good beer. It's just not exceptional or outstanding. It's a decent beer. If you can pick this up in your area, like I said, they're out of Pennsylvania for a real reasonable price. I don't know whether it's in a 4-pack or a 6-pack. It may be a good go-to beer if you're picking it up at a real good price. But as far as I'm concerned, there is this. I mean, the Bell's Two-Hearted Ale is much better than this, and that's my go-to IPA here at the house, guys. And like I said, now I'm getting the Firestone Walker Union Jack, and I'm kind of liking that a lot here. So I've been buying that the last time or 2 or 3 since I've seen it available here. And there are several others that come to mind. The Ranger and some of the Dogfish stuff is pretty tasty. There are a lot of good IPAs that are available now. I mean, the IPAs are exploding. I mean, a lot of people getting into that style of beer. And I like a good double IPA too. I like that extra oomph, that extra kick, that extra hop profile, especially something like an Stone Enjoy by, something like that. So let's go over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says all of us are pretty close here. Rate Beer says overall 85 and 67 in the style. So 84, 85, and for me, I'm split 84, 85, somewhere in that area. So we're all in agreement. It's around the B beer, guys. So if you've had this one from Sly Fox Brewing out of Pennsylvania, let me know what you think, guys, and come on back tomorrow. Let's go see what's in the fridge. See you then.